And yeah, so what are your names, please?
Glenysand Davies.
And you are, and
Ron Davies.
Ron Davies. And where are you from?
Brynmawr.
I'm from Nantiglow originally.
You're from Nantiglow and
Brynmawr.
you're from Brynmawr. Yeah. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Nantiglow.
Yeah.
I grew up in Brynmawr.
Yeah, but where in Brynmawr?
In Gladstone Street, Brynmawr.
Right. And where in Nantiglow did you grow up, Grant?
Forge Rise.
Forge Rise.
Yes.
And did you grow up, you have brothers and sisters?
Two brothers and a sister, but my mother died and we broke up.
You broke up and you grew up apart, did you?
Apart. Me and my oldest brother lived together.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And who did you live with there?
My grandparents.
You lived with your grandparents?
My mother's mother and father.
Yeah? And where did your other brother and sister grow up?
They lived on a garden with my other grandparents.
Right. And what about you, Nan? Did you grow up with
with me and my brother, that's all.
Yeah? And you grew up together?
Yeah.
So what about your parents? What were their names?
Elsie Lloyd.
Yeah?
And Albert Lloyd.
Albert Lloyd. And what did they do?
Huh?
What did they do for a living?
Well, my mother didn't work.
No? She was a homekeeper.
And my father he worked on the red and white buses.
You were alright, so he was bus driver?
No, cleaner.
Cleaner, so he used to clean the buses. And where did he work? Where was that? Where was the red and white buses?
In the red and white cottages in
Just
Brynmawr.
in Brynmawr, where it still is now.
Yeah.
And what about you, Granch? What did your parents do?
Well, my father was a blacksmith.
Yeah.
And my mother was a housewife.
Right.
Yeah.
And your father was a blacksmith.
Yeah.
But he's got an interesting story, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he was deaf all his life.
Yeah.
Worked all his life, but he was deaf.
And what did he? How did he cope with that?
Lip read.
Could lip read.
Lip read, yeah.
And what? How did he manage with lip reading? Was he self-taught?
All right, no, yes, I've taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could manage. So how did he get on in life? He did quite well for himself.
Well, he worked all his life.
Yeah.
Worked all his life.
Worked all his life, but he worked on something quite important, didn't he?
Well, after the pit closed, he went to work on down the Eastern Valley, making a pipeline for the new town of Cwmbran.
So Cwmbran, what was the water pipe?
I don't know what pipes it was. No.
Yeah. So like.
And they made him a guy, foreman.
Right.
Made him a foreman.
He was the foreman, and he couldn't hear anything, but he was in charge of the work, which is quite something achievement back in the day. Yeah. That's fantastic. So what about you? What did you do? Where did you grow up and go to school?
I grew up in Nantiglow.
Yeah.
Go to school. I worked on the ballast works for 3 months after I left school.
Right.
That's the crusher they called.
Right.
But I went underground because it was more money underground.
And was that the only jobs really at the time?
For 25 years I worked on a coal face for 25 years.
And where did you work?
In Garden and Keystone Colress. That's all in Garneroo.
Right, and what was it like there?
Well, it was hard work.
Right.
Hard work, yeah.
It was hard work. Did you work just on machines, or was it pick
and shovel?
Pick and shovel, and you would. Well, what would you do there? What was like a day?
The machine would cut the coal face.
Yeah.
And we would get the coal off. We'd have 6 yards each.
Right.
Man to get off. 4 foot 6 deep.
Yeah.
And 6 yards long.
4 yards deep and 6 yards long.
4 foot 6 deep.
Yeah.
As the end of the cutter.
Yeah.
And 6 yards.
And you'd have to crawl in to get.
Most of my time I worked on my knees.
You're right.
For 13 or 14 years I worked on my knees.
Just chopping out the coal.
Put it on a conveyor.
Yeah.
Get off the coal and put it on a conveyor.
Put it on the conveyor. Did you what kind of people did you work with?
Oh, more men, like, you know.
Yeah. And was it something you enjoyed? What was the
experience
like?
Only job, only work about.
Yeah. So it was only work about, you did it, and we didn't work at all.
No.
And what about you, Nan?
I worked in the factory.
Yeah, what kind of factory? Sorry?
For Basil Glass first.
For Basil Glass, what did you do there?
Making coats, and we used to do stuff for the war.
Right.
But I was only 14 when I went to work.
You were 14 when you went to work?
And then Basil Glass finished, and then we went to Denmark.
Okay, and what did you do at Denmark?
Took over. So I worked there. Then 30 years altogether.
Yeah. And what was your job there at Denmark?
I was a buttonhole on a buttonhole machine.
Right.
Doing buttonholes on coats.
And you would fit the buttonholes? And what kind of coats were they? What were they?
All different kinds of coats.
Yeah.
So.
Did you like your work there?
Huh?
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, well.
It was work.
Well, it was work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so you worked. So after that, what happened then?
Well, I finished then because I broke my leg, didn't I?
Oh, okay.
And I had to finish work, didn't I?
Okay.
So that was it then, and I just housewife then.
Oh. But what about you, Grant? Well, after you left the pit?
I worked for Dunlop Sandbox factory.
Dunlop Sandbox. And what would you do there?
I worked on a machine
Yeah.
called the Rotodon. Making flooring.
Okay.
4 foot to 6 foot wide flooring. 75 feet long.
And that, what kind of flooring was there?
Well, vinyl flooring.
Yeah.
Vinyl flooring.
And that was popular at the time, was it?
Yeah, very popular. Yeah.
All different kinds. But I think they worked a lot with asbestos. In the factory.
Not in our department.
Right.
No. That was at the end of Semtex.
Yeah.
They used to use the Canadian blue asbestos,
Right.
which is the worst deadliest. And then when they had to close that was the end of Semtex, they couldn't find a substitute to weld the flooring together. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. How they would use such a deadly material and didn't know
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I left Denmark 12 years later, father,
Yeah.
and I didn't go back to work then for 8 years.
Right.
And then when he was 8, then I went back to work.
Yeah.
And then I worked for another 15 or 20 years, didn't I?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So what? So where did you two meet?
Met in a cafe.
Met in a
You
cafe.
know?
like a Venus coffee.
Yeah.
So
In 48.
Did you know about each other before you had met, or did you just
Well,
stars cross one day?
see one another around, like.
Huh?
We saw one another around.
And you thought, oh, she's.
Oh, she ain't badly good. She'd be a good grandmother for my grandchildren.
So you met and you went out. Was that your first date at the cafe?
Well,
No.
we met.
No, we didn't go for a while, did we?
Yeah.
No,
No.
But
no.
we went together for a year, now we got engaged.
Yeah. So what happened? Where did you guys? What happened at the beginning then? How did you start?
Always go to the pictures.
Yeah.
Take the
Lots of
picture.
pictures and
Take the
places like
picture.
that. There was not anywhere else to go there,
No,
was there?
no.
Like,
So
you know.
where would you? Did you ask her out? Did you?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And did you come up on the bus?
Grandpa used to like to go dancing, mine.
Yeah. So you loved
did.
loved
No, I
dancing.
didn't go then. Grandpa used to go.
So would you?
Before we was married, he used to go.
So you always danced
Yeah.
before?
Always.
And what kind of dancing?
Old time
Yeah.
Modest
and
sequence.
modern sequence.
Where would you dance?
Well, I started in the drill hall in King Edward Road.
Right. Who
When I
taught
was
you?
17.
Who taught
The
you?
women, the men had gone to the war,
Right.
and the women learned us to dance.
Taught
And
you
then
to
we
dance.
went to Semtex. We went to Semtex to dance.
Yeah, we started dancing.
In the
In the
Semtex.
drill hall, the
And then,
Legion,
Yeah.
Legion Club.
and
Bluff
then we had
Club.
a class in the centre then. In the community centre in Brynmawr we had a class.
Yeah.
We was there for years.
And you and so this
we
was
used to
in.
go away on weekends. with
Yeah.
them, man.
So what back when you started going out together, you'd go dancing? Did you know how to dance then, Nan?
No,
No.
I didn't go.
No.
So Grant had to teach you how to dance.
I wasn't going with him then.
Done with me.
No.
Uh,
So he taught you how to dance later on?
me?
Yeah.
We learned I learned myself, didn't I? We learned ourselves.
Yeah.
Just good. So you started. So how long were you dating before you decided to get engaged?
You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always engaged during 10 months, didn't we? Before we got married.
So what was it like?
Yeah.
What was it like then after when you got engaged?
Well, mostly pictures.
Yeah. But because this is not long after the end of the war.
It's only 48. See.
Yeah. So there's not a lot going on at the time.
No.
So what?
Rationing just finished in 48.
Yeah. And then you decided to get married, and so tell me about your wedding day.
Oh, nice. We had a nice wedding day, do we?
What?
We had a nice wedding day.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Sun was shining, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Rain tipped down all the week.
And
And on Saturday the
morning.
sun shined.
Yeah.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
And we had a reception in the Black Lane, which is a talisman now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60 of us.
60 of you.
60 of us upstairs.
Yeah.
With mother, father,
We had a
for it.
lovely wedding, fair play.
We went to London on honeymoon.
Right. Where did you go to London?
In Acton.
Acton. That's it.
Yeah.
So that was quite a journey for you. Had you been that far away before?
I'd been to London the year before
Right.
to a rugby international match,
Okay.
so I knew a bit about it.
So how did you get there?
Train.
You got on the
Well,
train.
there was loads of us on it because there was loads of people got married the same day. So we were all on the station, Brynmawr station, and there was loads of us got married the same day. So there was a load on the train, you know.
Yeah. So you all went up, and so it was a bit of a jolly boys out there. I expect it was quite entertaining on
Oh,
the
you didn't see him
train.
after, mate.
No.
Oh, you didn't see him after.
So what? You went to Acton in London. What was it like there?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Acton Theatre was lovely theatre, good shows on there.
We went to shows.
Shows
yeah.
Lovely shows in Acton Theatre.
Yeah.
So you went to see some shows, and so you spent some time up there, and then came back. How long did you spend there?
A week.
A week. Nice. So you came back, and then so what happened then? Did you start
No,
living
we went
together
to live
then?
with my mother, love.
Live with
We
mother
lived
and
with my
father.
mother for 4.5 years. Didn't we?
So you
Of course
lived.
we had Lyndon. Oh, we was married
2 years.
2 years. No, nearly 2.5 years. Before Lyndon was born.
Yeah. So what happened then? You would
Well, I had to finish work then, didn't I?
right.
Because I was having Lyndon and I had to stay home from work to look after him, didn't I?
Then we had
And then-
a flat in Hillcrest.
And
Yeah.
then we moved then, look. We moved to a flat
Flat
in
in
Hillcrest.
So
in
how
Brynmawr.
old was Lyndon when you moved? 2.5.
A year?
What?
2 years. Oh, you was in there about 2 years, innit? When we moved up there, he about 2 years.
No, Lyndon was a year and 7 months when I moved up there.
And it was 28 flats,
Yeah.
and 24 of them was all young couples, like us.
Yeah.
Lovely
All
as
young
well.
couples.
Yeah, it was nice in the flat, but
Ah,
Charlie
Well,
got
well.
Lyndon got a bit older then, and he wanted to play music and things like that, and people in the flats underneath the different, so that's why we put in for house up
that
Gurner
was
as
the
well.
state.
But because we was there 16 years, we was entitled to a house, look. See, so mine, we had a lovely flat, mind. Didn't we,
So you
Ron?
Big garden.
Oh, we had a lovely flat, a
Big
great
garden.
big room we had.
But people used to pinch
And
from
we had
it.
2 lovely
Oh, aye.
bedrooms, yeah.
Yes.
Well, we had nice neighbours in the beginning, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sophie and I, we had lovely in the beginning, but when Sophie went from there, then somebody else, Mrs. Wilcox, she was a bit, and then she had her daughter to come and live with her, and her granddaughter, but they was all in 2-bedroom. So we was glad to get from there.
So how long did you live in the flats
Yeah.
Uh,
So then we were there then, so we went up good.
17.
So we were there for 35 years.
about 15 years in the flats.
Yeah, we 16 years in the flat.
Uh,
And we had 35 years up in,
in 1970 we moved into
and we've been in here now nearly
this year?
15 years.
Yeah.
17 years, it was only 70.
15 years now in Bartry. Richard was 12. They were shoveling snow for us to come in. When we were
Aye, fair play. He came to move us on a Sunday and it snowed. And
It
she
was
would
gorgeous
be
on
there
a
was
Saturday.
clear snow in the hills.
It was gorgeous on Saturday. It was absolutely bad. When we woke up on Sunday morning, it was absolute. The snow was terrible, and we were moving.
Yeah.
So he moved us half on a Sunday night and half on a Monday night.
Yeah.
To get you in here.
When you lived at Gurnos, how old was Dad then?
Father was 17 because he was learning to
He was learning to
drive
drive, yeah.
and he still had his air plates on and he moved out for stuff,
Oh.
cutlery stuff and all that, crockery.
Up to
Back
Gurnos.
and forth in flats of the house.
Ah.
So he grew up in the flats.
Aye.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what was he like? What was Dad like?
Oh, nice boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice boy.
Fair
Aye.
Yeah.
No trouble.
No trouble.
Like all of them.
And they had all the friends. See, they were all the same age.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, there
Was
was
John up next door?
there was John next door. He's the same age. It's only a week between them to the
Right.
day.
Yeah.
He was born one Thursday. He didn't born the following Thursday. Then there was Neil Smith. Then there was Alan Fisher.
Ah.
Then there was I can't. It was Alan, wasn't it? There was quite a crowd of them, and they all went to school at the same time,
About
and
Ransom?
they left the same time.
The boy Ransom became a hairdresser.
Yeah,
And all of them boys had
Oh.
trades.
yeah.
Oh, but Neil Smith and John was a brickie.
Ron was a brickie next door.
But Neil Smith was the only one that didn't have a trade. They all went into trades.
So what?
Yeah.
All them boys in his class.
My Neil couldn't read no right, clock.
Right.
He couldn't read no right, and he can't now.
No.
And
Well, it seems-
our Linden used to have to go down there. His mother used to have a Linden down there for him to learn to read and write, but he didn't have no interest in it. Neil. Whether he can do it now, I don't know whether it's right for him, but he couldn't read no right when he left school. No.
No.
And our Linden tried and tried, but no, he didn't have no interest in it.
So when Lyndon was growing up, he had lots of friends,
Oh,
Oh,
And then
I had lots of friends.
but he loved his cars. Where do you think his love of cars came from then?
I don't know.
Man, he
I never had a cars.
No.
We did. He had a car when he was 17. He had
yeah.
a Anglia. His first car was an Anglia.
Moscovich one, wasn't it?
No, your German.
Oh, aye, the little one, aye.
The Anglia first.
And then he had
Then he had a German car. What do you call them?
and then he had an accident with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had a Russian car first.
Yeah.
And an accident when he turned over on up on the mountain
Oh, he flipped his car.
with a girl.
Yeah.
The girl was with him, no.
Oh.
Then he had a German car.
Yeah.
What do you call them?
Moscovich.
No, that was a Russian car.
What do you call it?
Beetle?
Huh?
Beetle?
Beetle. He had a Beetle
Oh,
after. And when the snow was down, all the other cars would be stuck down the bottom. But his car would come all the way up around the bends. You'd take a bloody tank of it. The engine was in the front, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See the Beetle, the engine was in the front. It was in the back.
Back.
In
Yeah.
the back. That's right, in the back.
No, he never went without. He
No.
always had.
It's good. So he was good. He was a good kid, and then
Yeah.
when he grew up, then he
Yeah.
decided to become a plumber,
Remember? Yeah.
and he worked for.
Well, he was 16 when he went for apprentice
Well, for Brynmawr Council,
with the Brynmawr Council,
then Brynmawr Council,
and he worked for 40
And
45
44 years.
46 years, isn't it?
and 44. And then he worked for Ty Callan,
Yeah. And he was through, then he was a plumber for
4 years.
44 years.
Yeah.
44, 45 years.
So during that time, obviously, we came along.
Huh?
Yeah, you married twice.
Yeah. So how many times was he married?
Had
Twice.
Had 3 children.
Twice and 3 children.
Twice and 3 children. So but you brought us up as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
You brought us up.
Well, Nan was up in the morning and take him to school.
Well, you live with me.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You didn't want to go home.
And then
You live with us.
she used to get up in the morning for Claire to go to work.
Let me stop you there. Okay, so we're starting again. So you
I
brought
said-
me up.
Yeah, you live with us.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't go home.
Why wouldn't I go home?
You wouldn't. You just wouldn't want to go home. You screamed the place down.
Why do you think that was?
And then we had then looked after Rachel.
Why do you think Adam didn't want to go home?
Huh?
Why
Why-
do you think
But he
Adam?
wouldn't go home because he didn't want to.
Why was it fun at your house?
Well,
She-
Well,
she
yeah.
was too good. She was too good on that.
Spoilt he was because you wasn't along then, still. And then he was spoilt. And then he wouldn't go home. And they had to, so we had to keep him in our house.
Took him on holidays.
And then
Four
take
holidays
him
you
on
took him?
holidays. We wouldn't let us go on holidays. We had to take him
Take
with
him with
us.
us.
There'd be ructions if we left him behind. And your mother was working.
Yeah.
So in a good way, it was. I had to go over your house at 7 o'clock to look after you. So it was a good way for me for him to stay here. So me going over there in the mornings in the dark. So and then he wouldn't go home.
You
That was
fed
it.
you fed me and
he
looked
used
after
to
me
play-
well.
And of course, you had your friends to play with at our house.
Yeah.
There was Stuart and Philip Bennett.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and then there was Kat, they used to play with Kat. Don't you remember
I
Kat?
too. Yeah.
Then after that,
Yeah.
father married again, and had Rachel and Daniel.
Yeah, then
And
I
he's-
had, and then I looked after Rachel.
Daniel.
I had to look after her then. I
From
used to have to
Brynmawr
go down
to work.
Alma Street then and see to Rachel, bath her in the mornings and dress her and whatever. Then she started the nursery and I took her to nursery.
Yeah.
Then I'd go back up and fetch her and go take her and back, take her up, then go back and fetch her.
So what were we
And
like as
then-
kids?
She went in the bigger school then, because she was 6. And Daniel came along.
Start again.
I had to start again. I was 70 when Daniel was born. And then I had to start again then. So I had the 2 of them.
So you've been
I used to
mothering.
fetch her from school,
Yeah.
Daniel in the prom.
So you've been mothering us for.
And then when Daniel started nursery then, I used to have to fetch him from nursery and her from school. Oh, then Grandpa used to
I was
fetch her.
better in school.
Yeah.
Grandpa used to go
Yeah.
up and fetch her from school
I used to fetch her
because
from
I had Daniel. And Grandpa used to come and fetch you every day with a bar of chocolate.
Yeah.
But you didn't mind.
Huh?
You didn't mind.
Oh, they were great kids, see, were they?
Yeah, they were
4
good,
great kids we
good
had.
kids. They were.
Yeah.
They was good
4
kids.
great
They
kids,
were
yeah.
very friendly.
So you looked after
Never had
us
no trouble with
and
it.
brought us up.
Yeah.
And look, you say I say you looked after us and brought us up.
They was good kids.
Yeah.
You know, I know, good kids.
Yeah.
We didn't have no trouble with it.
No.
No.
Except I wouldn't go to school.
What you do at school?
I tell you now, you
You-
want to hear it? We put him in the nursery. And what did you do? Cry all the time he was in the nursery. Then I took him one today now from our house now to take him to school, to the nursery, got him all ready. Took him now as far as the gate and he wouldn't go in. So the teacher said, I think you better take him home and leave him, don't bring him anymore. Because he cries all the time he's in here. He don't like it. He want to go back home to his nanny. So I brought him home and I never went back.
Well, you laugh.
And then I said to him then, I always remember saying to him, now you know you're going to go to school when you're older. And he said, yes, yeah. And then when he was old enough, then he had to go to school. And never had no trouble at all. He went as good as gold. But he didn't like the bloody nursery.
Nursery.
Oh, he didn't like the nursery.
Wasn't ready
No.
to leave you, Nan.
Huh?
He wasn't ready to leave you.
No, wasn't ready.
No.
So I said to his mother then, Sandra, I said, I ain't sending him no more. Well, she said, if that's the case, he don't want to go, she said, leave him. Because the teacher said, he won't stay, he won't go from there, the teacher. He used to sit with her all the time and he'd cry and he won't go from there. Because he didn't want to leave me, look. He wanted to be there. So it was no good, was it?
And when she used to take him to shows,
Oh,
he stayed behind under a coat.
I took him to a pantomime in Beaufort. Me and Barbara, because Barbara used to take him everywhere, because Barbara's his godmother, isn't she? So we sat down in the ballroom now in Beaufort, the big pantomime now in there. So he sat down now on the seat, lovely. Oh, it started now and this buddy on the noise, and when they come on, he jumped on my lap and put his head under here like that, and he never opened it till I went out. He had his head under there all the time till I went out. I was saying, open your eyes, there's nobody there. No.
Yes, you love this.
Oh, I never forget that Barbara used to roll, because she was saying, look Adam, there's nothing there, look Adam. But no, Adam wouldn't let him put his head out of my coat. No way. He didn't like a pantomime, and he didn't like him shouting, like, see, you know, what he got, he frightened to death of him.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Do you
What?
want to go on now?
Yeah.
Do you want to go on?
Yeah, you keep going.
And I used to take you, but he was good as gold, you was.
Richard.
Richard.
was
So-
good.
Yeah, good as
Rachel's a
gold.
bloody star, isn't she?
No.
Yeah, she was, fair play.
Stick it on pantomime.
Fair play.
Do
She was good, she
We
was.
took it to Western Road for a day out, and it poured down. The first, and we were pushed there. So we bought a big umbrella, them big umbrellas.
Yeah.
To put
And she would
over
hold an umbrella like this, and wheeling around Western Shirt, it pouring down with rain.
And then we took her in this place then, wasn't it? Where they had
All these balls,
all these playthings for kids, and we took her in there and you stayed in there
all
then.
played
Till we
flowers.
got home.
Uh,
They were absolutely bucketed down, didn't it?
uh,
It was all right till we went. It was a lovely day.
uh,
No, oh no, it rained. That's twice we took her, didn't we?
Oh, we did.
I took her.
Twice,
We took
two
her
bad
twice.
days. Never took Dan.
Oh.
No, never took Dan.
Oh, I did. I took one to both go.
Oh, you took him on a couple
I
of days.
here with the Legion.
Went to that one animal place.
Legion, I took him.
You took him to come down to the animal
I
place.
took him to the Legion
Ah,
with the trips for the
Ah.
Legion. I ran and Rachel. Yeah.
See, we're not bad kids, and you've brought us up
Yeah.
well, and let us go on our path. So, what do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think about what we've done since? What do you
Oh, magnificent.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, you too, but well done, Dan. Magnificent. But Dan with his handicap, he done well.
Oh,
you two
yeah.
got to university.
Yeah.
And to think when I left school in 39, I had a job to spell up. And you two got to university.
Yeah, well, the three of you done well anyway. Out
Yeah,
there, done
well.
well as well.
Yeah,
So,
done well.
so we got to be proud of you.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Well, we're very grateful for you as well, aren't we?
Mm.
That's why we love you,
So
and,
we
and we're
brought you
grateful
up,
for you.
alright.
You've done well.
And then it went then to your mother married Lloyd.
Yeah.
Left there.
And then it went then to you
You
went
what?
to there now you went with Lloyd to the Antiglo,
Yeah.
and then he went to this school down there, the comp down
Yeah.
there. And of course you used to go then to Joe on your dinner hour, and he
That's
used to give you your dinner.
That's it.
There.
Because Frida used
So
to
we
work.
never
in-
seen much of you after,
No.
because you was
Mm.
in school. So we never seen much of you then.
You had these other two to look after then.
Huh?
You had these other two to look
Yeah,
after then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then of course I had Rachel and Daniel anyway, so
You had more. You had them.
Yeah.
You had them to put on the right path.
So over a 20-year period, we had 3 grandchildren, we looked after 3 grandchildren over a 20-year period.
yeah.
Over a 20-year period, we looked after 3 grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you have to do like extra things with Dan? Did you, you had to work with Dan a little bit more, didn't you?
Well, he wouldn't leave his, I don't know, he wouldn't leave his, washings off.
His
Well,
dummy,
No.
or his,
No, it was what's his name?
Oh, his nappies.
Nappies.
Terrible.
You wouldn't leave his nappies off. We broke him off now.
I
You
broke
broke
him
Dan
off.
off with nappies. You
Didn't
wouldn't leave him
I?
off.
I just broke him off his nappies. He said no more. I said, that's it. So I put a pair of pants on him. And I said, you pee the woods now, I said. You tell me when you want to go to the toilet. You're 3 now. And you tell me. He was looking at me, wasn't he?
Mm.
So he did. And I brushed him up the toilet. And he did, and he was as good as gold. And I said to your mother, I trained him. She said, oh, thank God for that. oh, he was terrible, man. 3-year-old, it was terrible. Oh, and he wouldn't eat. He used to have
No,
jars, you know, baby jars.
baby food.
That's what he used to have.
Ah.
3-year-old, baby jars. And if there was meat in it, he'd go,
Oh no.
spit it out. And then he went, there was pasta and cheese. We had that for I don't know how long. We every day pasta and cheese I had to have to cook. Oh,
Only nothing but water.
only water.
Only
Oh
water,
man,
yeah.
you used to have apple juice and
What
fruit.
was it? But now you don't have anything with that now.
And then that went. Yeah. Oh.
So then we moved down there.
You moved here.
14 years ago, when is that?
Coming up 15 years in March.
So you lived here. Why did you move here?
Because I had arthritis knees,
Yeah.
I couldn't walk up and down the hills.
Right.
So this house,
We seen this was
house
empty.
empty.
I
I
said-
paid for it.
His house empty down the street. So I said, I don't know if anybody got it. So I went down to the council offices and I said about it, and we.
Mm.
And he said, oh, I don't know. He said, I got a lot of people in for that. Well, I said, I'm giving up a big house, mine. I said, in Glenysand Estate. Oh, right. He said, I can do with that. Because I said that, I had the house. The next week, we had a letter to say we got it.
Yeah.
But mine, well, shit all
This house was in a terrible
Oh.
state. Your father had a week off from work
Yeah.
to help me decorate.
Terrible it was. It was absolutely
And after we decorated downstairs, your father came downstairs on a Saturday and he put a screwdriver up there in the fire and half the ceiling came down. They unwelded the joint. They put a new boiler in and they unwelded the joint. And all
We got out that done. Now look, it says November, then they haven't come and done it yet. So I said I leave it now till after Christmas. And I tell them, no, we want it done. You've been since November now. Well, Johnny don't notice, isn't it? And we can't paint it because it's no good painting. It's gotta be architects.
So you left
Goose.
Glenysand Estate, and that was a wonderful home. That was your home for many years. How did you
Yeah.
feel about leaving Glenysand Estate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, I had ills.
So you was happy to leave it?
Yes.
Or did you?
I like it, Jeremy. It's nice.
We want to come down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was a beautiful home, and you had a wonderful
don't-
garden.
mine-
Yeah,
We
good
had
garden.
they see the neighbours, mine, Maureen on the corner, she don't go anywhere, she don't go out. We see John now and again.
Yeah.
I see Becky when she wants something, when she can't it.
When I came,
But otherwise, we don't see her.
when I came here, that yard was full of weeds. A
Yeah.
foot and 1 inch high. You could pull them up with 2 hands with the roots. And when I pulled them all out, there was a lorry full of weeds in that front. And that wall up there was
And we had
black.
lovely neighbours when we come here. Mine, we had Mary and
Ron.
Ron. They were lovely neighbours, but I got a photo with it. And she was a lovely neighbour, Mary. I got a photo with it.
Yeah.
She was alright till she had a fall, and she had a fall in the kitchen, and then she had pneumonia, and that was it. But she was a lovely neighbour.
So you
Yeah.
lived here, and it wasn't long before Dad moved close by. He moved to the
You should
just
know
on the
you
road.
already, yeah. You'd already done that.
We were already here when
He
your
was.
father. He was here, your father,
right,
before
right.
we come here. Yeah.
So you would call. He would call in.
Yeah.
Would he come in for his dinner, or would?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Christmas dinner, yeah.
Oh,
I never used to have come to your Christmas dinner.
He used to come for
you
my
used to have
Christmas.
your Christmas dinner.
Yeah,
And
of
your
course.
mother.
Yeah,
You used to have a Christmas dinner, yeah?
Ah,
Aye.
I remember having Christmas dinner. Yeah,
They used to have their
I used
Christmas
to
dinner.
love. I used to love your dinners.
oh.
Probably too much. That's why I'm so big now. Put it right on. So you were living here. Easy to get to the street, and didn't have to walk
Yeah,
to the
that's
street
right.
anymore.
Yeah,
But at the same time, Dad was starting to get ill, wasn't he?
yeah.
And what was that like?
But Richard knows the name, I can't think of the name.
Huh?
What's the name?
Scleroderma.
Huh?
Scleroderma.
Scleroderma.
Yeah. And he had a problem breathing with his lungs,
Breathing,
didn't he?
yeah. It got worse and worse.
Got worse and worse, didn't he?
Yeah.
So what was that like at the time?
Yeah.
Well, it was terrible to see him.
For 4
You
years.
sit in that chamber there and we panting for about 15 minutes where you sat to talk. Terrible.
Yeah.
You couldn't talk to him, man.
We lost him
You
4
had to go
years.
out.
Come
You kept
January.
leaving there by yourself till
Yeah.
he come round. And then he'd come round, then he'd be alright. You go back out, he'd be the same again.
Lost him 4 years January now.
It was a
The
terrible
8th
day.
the 8th the next month. We've been at the cemetery, Rachel. Did you ever show him the photo of the grave?
No, I haven't showed him. I'll show him.
We done it. Did we, lovely?
Didn't it nice?
Yeah, we did it all in red, we done it.
Well, what,
That all now?
well almost. All I would ask you is, what if you had to give one piece of advice to someone, what would it be, Granch? What one piece of advice would you give them?
Well, try to be helpful to people.
Yeah.
You know? We were trying to be helpful to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and be a helpful and kind neighbour.
Yeah.
And what about you, Nan? What kind of advice would you give someone that?
I don't know, really. I don't know what to give.
Yeah.
Oh, to be honest, I don't know.
You don't know. That's okay.
What do you think? What do you think? What advice I should give? I don't
I
know.
know, that's what about it, right said, you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've done
Be
that
kind-
all our lives, haven't we?
Be kind to each other.
Yeah.
And what
Help one another, innit?
and what do you think you've been married to for how long?
70 years.
70 years
70 years now. It'll be a 71st anniversary.
in March.
March.
In March.
25th.
And what's the secret of a long and happy relationship? What's the secret of a long and happy marriage?
Yeah, don't be on there.
I had to give and she
We've
to
had our
take.
ups and downs, everybody do have them, don't they? But
Yeah.
we've been alright, me and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If we hadn't, I wouldn't have lived with him.
is there any secret?
Huh?
Is there any secret to it? What would you say was the?
Well, I say she was a great cook. A great cook. A great cook.
Yeah.
That's right. Rachel, we can come back every Sunday.
Yeah. And what would you say is that? Because Granch, how old are you now?
I'm 95.
You're 95 and Nan?
I'm 91.
91.
I'll be 96 in the new year.
And so what would you say is the secret to a long life?
Well, be active.
Yeah?
Walking.
Yeah.
Gardening.
Yeah.
Dancing. That's what we've done all our lives.
Stay active.
Yes, yeah.
Stay involved with things. Don't
Yeah.
just sit in the chair.
Never in a car.
No.
Never in a car. So we don't walk in miles of walking.
Yeah. So is there anything you'd want to say to the future? Our kids, if we ever have kids?
Oh. Well, be as good as you are. Be good children as like you are. You know, you've
Yeah.
been. Because you're all good, 3 good children.
Good.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
All
Well,
right.
That's it.